All right, so we are just about finished up with our linear equations and with this whole school year in general. So let's get started. I've told you guys before that we need to always make sure we write our equations in function form. So if it's not y equals, make it y equals by getting rid of the x or any other digits that are near that y. Now, I have all of these variables ready for you, all the equations are ready. Now we just have to match the tables and match the graphs. Now you guys don't have to worry about writing the tables, but we're going to practice it anyway. So if I have the equation y equals x plus 7, I can make my x anything that I want. So I'm going to start with negative 1, 0, 1, 2, 3, and 4. All right. Now, an equation like this should have a pretty simple pattern. So for example, 0 is my x, plus 7 would just be 7. So 0 plus 7 would be 7. Negative 1 plus 7 would be 6. 1 plus 7 would be 8. And then you should be able to see the pattern from there. So 9, 10, and 11. All right, now my equation should work. 4 plus 7 equals 11. Negative 1 plus 7 equals 6. So, okay, works on both sides. Now we need to graph this. Now we're going to pretend or assume that each unit equals 1. So we need to chart it. I have negative 1 and 6. So you guys should know how to do this. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. All right. There's my first one, 0, 7, 1, 8, and 2, 9, and 3, 10. All right. And you can assume that my 4, 11 would be right there. Perfect. Okay. So now I'm going to graph that with my line. And turn it. And there we go. So basically, what we found out is that this graph, or this table, matches this equation, and this line matches this table. So we have all three set up. We're going to do another one. Now, you're going to get a little bit more equations kind of like this one. So we have y equals negative 3x plus 1. So like I always do, I start with negative 1, 0, 1, 2, 3, and 4. Just makes it easy. Okay, start with 0. So what is 0 times negative 3? Well, that's 0. Plus 1 would be 1. Negative 1 times negative 3 is just simply 3, plus 1 would be 4. All right, I'm going to assume my y's are going to go down because of that negative. Negative 3 times 1 is negative 3, plus 1 would be negative 2. 2 times negative 3 is negative 6, plus 1 is negative 5. All right, you should see this pattern by now. Minus 3, minus 3, minus 3. So negative 5 and negative 3 would be negative 8, 9, 10, 11. All right, let's plot a couple of our points. So we have negative 1, 1, 2, 3, 4. We're at 0 and 1. We are at 1 and negative 2. All right, and just with those couple lines, I should be able to figure out exactly where my line is going to go. Over 1, down 3. 1, 2, 3. Over 1, down 3. 1, 2, 3. All right, now match my line up. Now, this is a line segment. It's not exactly what we want, but it does the trick. All right, matches up pretty close. And there we go. This would be the line that matches this table, which matches this equation. All right, now we also can have just plain old lines that are horizontal or vertical, but we have to kind of make sure that we do the right one. So if you're given y equals 2, that means that x could be literally anything. But no matter what, your y is always going to be 2. So I'm going to find my 2 on my y-axis, and that is where it's going to be. So if this will always be 2 all the way across. Okay, if I did it here, then that would mean my x is always 2. My y could be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, -1. So make sure you matched up correctly. So my y equals 2 would be a horizontal line. Now, same thing, what if I have x? X equals 4. Well, no matter what my y equals, I want my x to equal 4. So it's going to go up and down, or vertical. So let's make a vertical line. Make it as tall as we can get it. And this would be what x equals 4. Now finally, in the very first graph or the second graph we did, we had some intercepts. And we also have one intercept on this one, but eventually it would intercept about here. So what is an intercept? Basically, it's where the line crosses an x-axis and a y-axis. So it's pretty simple. Basically find the spot where it touches on the axis. So let's look at x first. We have our x-axis right here. Well, where does that line cross? If you notice, it crosses perfectly at -2. So my x-intercept would be at -2. My y-intercept, I'm going to look up and down and see where it crosses, and it crosses at 4. So my x-intercept would be at -2, my y would be at 4, and that's basically it. Now, it's not always going to be perfect. Sometimes it'll be right in the middle, sometimes it'll be a quarter. It just depends. So, yep, that's your math for this week.